of the year at Anaheim Stadium. NFC West battle between the 7-1 New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. And the 49ers, who came into this afternoon's action 3 games behind the Saints, are tied with Atlanta in the 4th quarter, and we'll keep you posted. And good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton along with Merlin Olsen. Bobby Hebert's shoulder was worse this week after the loss to the Chicago Bears. They're trying to rebound from that defeat, and he didn't look too good in the pregame warm-ups either right now.
Dick, as we watched him warm up, it's obvious that he's in pain. He's really struggling, especially on his deep throws. And I think there's a very good chance that we're going to see a lot of Steve Walsh on the field today. It's the kind of day that Jim Mora would like to be able to take the football and hand it to the running backs. But most of them are really beat up. There is one piece of good news for New Orleans, and that is Ironhead Hayward is back, and I think we're going to see a lot of him on that field today.
He can move the pile, that's for sure. Meanwhile, what do the Rams need to do to reverse that 24-7 setback earlier in the season?
The Rams have got to get the ball into the hands of Jim Everett and let him go to the passing game. But he has to have time to throw the football. And in order to do that, they're going to make sure that they block out those 2 great linebackers, Swilling and Jackson, right there, 8 sacks apiece.
All right, glad you could join us for the Rams and the Saints on a beautiful afternoon in Southern California. The Rams have won the toss and will receive. 3-5 on the year. Rams not so much looking at the playoffs, but trying to rebound from a dreadful performance against the Falcons last week. Morton Anderson will kick off for New Orleans. And back deep for the Rams is Ron Brown and Vernon Turner. Brown is on the right. Anderson, of course, with a 60-yard field goal last week in the losing cause against the Bears. Starts it off with a line drive kick, and it's Turner inside the 5, returning for the Rams. Shows his speed and brings it out close to the 30-yard line, where rookie Reginald Jones makes the tackle for the Saints. Jim Everett, who has had a hot and cold season and was ice cold last week, will lead the Rams on the first possession of the game. Up front, Gerald Perry, Tom Newberry, Doug Smith, Duval Love, and Jackie Slater, the offensive line. Damone Johnson is the tight end. Robert Del Pino and Buford McGee are the running backs, and Henry Ellard and Aaron Cox the wide receivers.
We're likely to see a lot of Marcus Dupree today as well.
He's in the game plan. First down on the 29, and Del Pino going left, and is stopped for no gain. Number 1 defense in the NFL, Sam Mills and Pat Swilling, 2 of the big reasons why. Saints' strengths are their linebackers, although the defensive line has played well. Wayne Martin, Jim Wilkes in the middle, and Frank Warren. Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, James Williams, who's playing again for the injured Vaughn Johnson, who is out, and Pat Swilling. Vince Buck and Toy Cook are the cornerbacks, and they've been playing awfully well. Gene Atkins and Brett Maxey, the safety. Second down and 10. Again, it's Del Pino, and again, Del Pino barely gets a yard as Frank Warren broke through and was all over him.
The Los Angeles Rams open with 2 running plays. Significant because their feeling is that in order to protect Everett, they've got to at least show this New Orleans defense that they're not afraid to run the football. Oh, you don't get that much yardage 2 times in a row. You better run a little better than that, or you're going to have to throw all day long.
Atlanta has moved in front of the 49ers 10-7. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Jones and Glenn are extra defensive backs for the Saints on a passing down out of the shotgun. Everett had time that time, and the pass is intercepted. Vince Buck, he's having a terrific year. Vince Buck with 2 interceptions against the Bears, picks off 1 here, and will give the Saints ideal field position.
Even though the rush does not reach Everett, it's obvious that they are forcing him to throw this ball uncomfortably. Throwing off the back heel, hanging the football up there, and Vince Buck, who says, hey, I'm a receiver when that ball is in the air, is right there to pull it down. It's no wonder that this team leads the leagues in sacks with that kind of sacks and in catches.
And Steve Walsh is getting the call. Bobby Hebert can't start and probably won't play. Walsh with a first down on the 45 of the Rams. Ironhead Hayward back in action. Picks up a couple of yards. So Bobby Hebert, who has been hurting lately, re-spraining the shoulder against the Bears, has missed 2 games. And now Steve Walsh will lead the Saints. His offensive front, Richard Cooper, Jim Dombrowski, Joel Hilgenberg, Chris Port, and Stan Brock up front. Bobby Brenner, the tight end. Gil Fenerty and Craig Hayward are the backs, and Eric Martin and Quinn Early, the wide receivers. 2nd down and 7. Double tight end, and Hayward gets the call. And Hayward is stopped for no gain. Will bring up 3rd down, and a lot of pushing and shoving going on between the teams. Robert Young, starting at right end, made the tackle.
Get the game with the New Orleans Saints, it's going to be physical. There's no question about it. And there's one of the reasons right there. Ironhead Hayward at 260 plus pounds. A question of where he is right now. Sometimes plays as heavy as 270. But he is one of the finest blockers. In fact, the finest blocking fullback in the league, as well as a great runner.
He missed 2 games with a hamstring pull. 3rd down and 7. Floyd Turner is in there, as well as the rookie Wesley Carroll. 4 wide receivers. Walsh with his first pass attempt, and it's caught at the 30-yard line by Floyd Turner for a gain of 13 and a first down. And right now, let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York for an update. Greg?
Well, Dick, the 49ers and the Falcons, 4 minutes to go. Sanjay Beach fumble. Tracy Johnson recovered to set up a 29-yard field goal by Norm Johnson. 1:47 to play in Atlanta. The Falcons lead it 10-7, Dick.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. The Falcons have to be considered a factor in the race, coming in with a 500 record. Meanwhile, Walsh, following the 13-yard pass, has a first down on the 30-yard line. Hayward back in the lineup. Play fake. Walsh has time, going wide open, and the pass is knocked down incomplete. And all of a sudden, Quinn Early was not wide open, and Michael Stewart, one of 3 defenders, knocked the ball down.
That ball hung up there for a long time. Walsh appeared to have a chance to zip this ball downfield. Does not get a lot of power on it. He has a problem throwing the deep ball. Is not a very strong-armed quarterback. In fact, has to get the power from his legs.
A new starter defensively for the Rams is the rookie Todd Lay, picked on the 1st round, played at Notre Dame, and replacing the veteran Jerry Gray at cornerback. 2nd down and 10. On the delay, here's Hayward. Hayward got a couple, but it'll be 3rd down and long as Anthony Newman, the nickelback, came up defensively for the Rams. Carl Wilson, Alvin Wright, Chris Pike, and Robert Young start up front. Young moving from tackle to end. Kevin Green looking to get him loose finally. He only has 1 quarterback sack, with Kelman Strickland at linebacker. Light with his first NFL start, along with Darrell Henley at cornerback. Pat Terrell and Michael Stewart are the safeties. 3rd down and 8. Jim Mora looking to break that 1-game losing streak. Walsh under pressure. Incomplete. He had 2 wide receivers in the same neighborhood, including Eric Martin and Turner. It'll be 4th down.
Well, and this is something that's been absent from the Ram arsenal. They've had real trouble getting pressure on the passer. But watch this as they come in. Kevin Green on one side and Robinson on the other, streaking in from the right side. Excellent work by the Rams defense, and they'll force the field goal try by Morton Anderson.
The 60-yarder tied for the 2nd longest in history. This will be a 45-yard field goal attempt. By the way, Anderson is 9 of 11 here at Anaheim Stadium in his career against the Rams. That's pretty good. The kick is long enough, and the kick is good enough. And Morton Anderson gives the Saints a 3-0 lead. We want to welcome those of you who were watching the Bears against the Lions and the Vikings and the Buccaneers. Morton Anderson, who kicked a 60-yard field goal last week, has just connected on a 45-yarder to give the Saints a 3-0 lead over the Rams here in the first quarter. This is Dick Stockton along with Merlin Olsen. And the Saints getting the opportunity following a Vince Buck interception of a Jim Everett pass. Bears came from behind to beat the Lions and are in first place all by themselves in the NFC Central.
Exciting opportunity for us to watch Steve Walsh. Bobby Hebert, the expected starter, has been struggling because of shoulder injuries. Did not start this ball game. In his place, Steve Walsh, who of course played for him last week and has done so in the past. And when you lose your starting quarterback, you try to get a little pressure off of that backup by going to the running game. We talked earlier about the fact that the runners for New Orleans are injured. But Craig Hayward given that ball a bunch of times in that first series and didn't make a lot of yardage in the process. The running game has struggled for the Saints in the last 3 weeks.
Gordon Anderson will kick off for the second time. Ron Brown and Vernon Turner are back deep for the Rams. It is a short kick and a chance for a return for Ron Brown at the 9. And Brown runs into defenders at the 26-yard line. A return of 18 yards. Benny Thompson and Calvin Nicholson in on the tackle. There's the Viking victory over the Buccaneers.
Jimmy Everett out to take his second opportunity for the Rams, and you got to wonder which Jim Everett is going to show up today. The one that played very well 2 weeks ago against the Raiders, 3 weeks ago against San Diego, or the one that struggled last week against Atlanta. He has had such an up and down season all year long, and the answer already is not too good a start for Everett, who threw an interception in that first series.
Rams start out with 2 tight ends on first down on the 20-yard line. Robert Del Pino picks up about 5 yards. James Williams making the tackle for the Saints.
Del Pino, who was a college wide receiver and initially got into the backfield as a receiver, has really been the Ram offense along with Everett during this season. And you've got to wonder how long he can continue to pound and stay healthy.
That's why Marcus Dupree, who played in the second half of the loss to the Falcons last week, is expected to play and carry about 15 times. Second down and 5. Here's Del Pino. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 5, and Wayne Martin, the defensive end, was right there. Niners, who were trailing just a moment ago, have forged in front of the Falcons 13-10. Niners are 3 games behind the Saints in the NFC West coming into today's play, and of course the Saints and the 49ers play next week at Candlestick Park. Third down and 5 with 8:40 remaining in the first quarter. Everett's pass nearly picked off and nearly intercepted in 2 occasions. Vince Buck almost had his second interception of the game, and the crowd showers its boos on the Rams offense as it's 4th down and LA will have to kick.
And there's no question that Everett is feeling the pressure of this rush. Has some time. A late rush right there by James Williams, the linebacker, to get the bump. But that's twice that he has thrown the ball right to the defenders once it was intercepted, and they're lucky that one wasn't taken away from them.
Dale Hatcher kicking on 4th down, does not get off a long kick. Vince Buck will let it bounce, and it takes a New Orleans hop down by the Rams on the Saints' 41-yard line. That was a 25-yard kick, so the Saints have good field position.
The Saints rather closed mouth about what they planned to do today, and I think they really did want to see how Hebert warmed up. But there was no question after watching him struggle that this would be the starter here today. Walsh acquired last year from the Dallas Cowboys. When Hebert held out, they bit the bullet, paid heavily for him, and he's had a chance to play a lot of football for them.
He replaced Hebert in the second quarter of the game in Philadelphia and started the Tampa Bay game and threw for 205 yards. So the Saints have won with Walsh at the helm. 1st and 10 on the 44-yard line for New Orleans. Hayward with the carry. He slips and falls down after picking up a couple.
One of the things you have to do with Ironhead is to get him before he gets underway. If you can get to him before he really gets moving, you've got a good chance of getting a tackle on it. But if not, look out. Jeff Fisher, defensive coordinator for the Rams, was that in Philadelphia and brought with him that 4-man line to the Rams and took them out of the 3-4 scheme. They're having trouble playing it. They don't have the people.
2nd down and 8. Rams is showing a blitz and pull back. Here comes a blitz up the middle, and the pass is caught by Turner. And a great bit of running by Floyd Turner, who had a career game with 9 catches last week against the Bears. Picks up 13 yards here before Gerald Robinson brings him down, and the Saints have a 1st down in Ram territory.
1st down, 13 yards.
Walsh able to read the zone. Here's the area that there's going to be open right here in the middle. Middle linebacker is going to come on the blitz, leaving that area open. And watch Walsh. Even though the pressure is on right here, he knows where the open man is. Throws across the middle right there. And New Orleans runs more of those crossing routes short than any team in the NFL.
1st down, and a play fake, and a good one. And Walsh's pass is complete to Hobie Brenner, the tight end, to the 24-yard line. Fred Strickland, the linebacker, covering downfield, and a gain of 17 yards. So the Saints are on the march again, and right now, let's check in with Greg.
Dick at Atlanta, 10-7 Falcons. Steve Bono from 30 yards out. John Taylor beats Deion Sanders to the corner. 14-10 49ers. There are now 43 seconds to play at Atlanta, Dick.
All right, Greg, but the Saints are playing this 1st quarter as if they want to make sure they keep that 3-game lead going into next week's game. Buford Jordan in his 1st action in the backfield, and a play fake, and a ball thrown up for grabs. Incomplete, and coming in was Kevin Green, and he nailed the Saints quarterback.
There's no question that the Rams came into this game expecting to see Hebert and not Walsh. And their styles are a little bit different, although you don't change the offensive plan a great deal when Walsh steps in.
The Saints have not given up a point in the 1st quarter this season. They have 6 minutes remaining in this 1st quarter, leading 3-0. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Hayward off the left side. Carries the ball to the 22-yard line, where Larry Kelm and Pat Terrell, the free safety, are there. That'll bring up 3rd down.
We asked Jeff Fisher yesterday, which quarterback would you like to see, Bobby Hebert or Steve Walsh? He said, hey, I'd almost rather see Hebert than Walsh. Walsh has the ability to read the defenses better, does not throw as much into the protection as Hebert, and really has a stronger arm than Hebert. Well, I'm not so sure of that. My feeling is that if Walsh were a better quarterback than Hebert, he'd be starting. Jim Moore is not a dumb coach.
Out of the shotgun goes Walsh as Robinson, Keel, and Hawkins are in for pass rushing purposes for the Rams. 3rd down and 8. Walsh has plenty of time. Double pumps, and his pass is caught by Hayward. Touchdown, Saints. He runs pretty good at 270. That was a 22-yard catch, and it's 9-0 New Orleans.
Disappointing start for the Rams, and so far Mora's team has had it all their way in the early going.
That is the 1st touchdown reception by Ironhead Hayward in his career, and only his 3rd reception this season. Morton Anderson is successful, and the Saints lead the Rams 10-0 with 5:04 to go in the 1st quarter, and I think gut check time is coming up for the Rams.
Look at how much time Walsh has and room to step up as he can get forward to get some power on that ball and find Hayward. But the key to this was that they were able to pick up this stunt in the middle of the line. Now watch the stunt between the linemen here as they loop inside, and this is something that they've had real trouble with. Kelm late getting in there, but watch the stunt, how they just stick them on the line of scrimmage. Hilgenberg doing a great job, room for Walsh to step up. This is something that the offensive line has had real trouble with. Kelm late getting there on Craig Hayward.
You would think, Merlin, that it wouldn't be that difficult to cover a Hayward downfield as a pass receiver, but
he moves pretty good.
For Steve Walsh, his third touchdown pass of the season. This team has a big problem here, the Rams, because they could fold if this game continues the way it's going.
They're coming off what was probably their worst game under John Robinson in his whole 9 years here with the Rams. He was hoping that they could kind of put it back together today, but it hasn't happened yet.
Rams season so far, they beat the Giants. That was their best victory early in the year. Morton Anderson with the kickoff. Ron Brown at the 3. Brown breaks it. Penalty marker is down. And Brown is chased out of bounds by Quinn Early, but there is a flag down upfield. Howard Rowe is the referee today. 56 yards in 6 plays. The Saints with a 10-0 lead, and here's Rowe. The illegal block against the receiving team. They'll mark off 10.
Number 38. Penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
David Lang, so that'll put the Rams in a hole as Everett comes out once more.
The one thing that John Robinson did not want to have happen in this game is to get into a situation where they have to throw the football. And they are almost there even this early in the ball game. They have not been able to run the football. They're down now by 10 points. Robinson has got to get something going. He's almost got to say, Jimmy, I don't care if you're going to have to take a couple of shots back there. We've got to get something rolling.
3 wide receivers on first down on the 10. Everett with a quick toss to Damone Johnson. He picks up 5 yards on the quick toss to the tight end, and Sam Mills was covering for the Saints. Sellout crowd at Anaheim Stadium, in the first time that they have sold out the Big A this season. Under a minute remaining in that Atlanta-San Francisco game with the 49ers up by 3. Second down and 5. Give is to Del Pino. Gave the Saints a lot of time to get to the ball carrier. Started with Wayne Martin and Pig Goff on the tackle.
This crowd booing the fact that the Rams are running the football. Well, Jimmy Everett knows that, and John Robinson knows that even if they aren't making yardage on those runs, they can't afford to go away from that running game. If you do, if the New Orleans Saints know that you're just going to drop back and throw the football, there's no way that Jimmy Everett is going to survive the afternoon. A lot of teams have just given up on the running game against the Saints. It's one of the reasons that the number 1 rush defense in the NFL.
Third down and 3, and wide open is Del Pino. He's downfield. 1 man to beat. Vince Buck. And Del Pino is stopped at the 5-yard line.
What a great job by Vince Buck, stringing all the way across that field to get a piece of Del Pino down the sideline. Great block by Jim Price on this play. Someone obviously blew an assignment here. There's the block by Price, right on the edge of your screen. Watch Vince Buck streak in from the left side here to get a piece of this tackle. Gets a chunk of him there, and then Atkins there. Here's the block right here by Price to open it up for Del Pino down the sideline.
78-yard play. And here is Marcus Dupree in the game with his first carry, and he fights his way off the left side to the 3-yard line.
Every team in the league running picks, and that was what set that play up. It was Brett Maxey getting picked off as he drove to the outside that opened up that big gainer.
Marcus Dupree, who sat out for 4 years with a near career-ending knee injury, played some last year, has gone out of the game, replaced by Del Pino, who gets a well-deserved breather, but he's in there now, 2nd and goal on the 3. Crowd excited once more, and a play fake. Everett's toss incomplete. Damone Johnson. No, that was Carter, Pat Carter, the intended receiver, but that pass was out of the end zone. Brett Maxey was covering.
Maxey, I'm sure is still furious.
Here at Anaheim Stadium, welcome to the Saints and the Rams, an NFC West battle. Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen. 10-0. The Saints jumped in front of the Rams, but a 78-yard screen pass to Robert Del Pino has set up a 3rd and goal on the 3 for the Rams. Here comes the rush, and down goes Everett. And it was Pat Swilling, untouched. A loss of 11 yards.
Watch Swilling exploding on the outside. He's all the way outside the tight end, and Gerald Perry didn't even get a hand on him. They're trying to double bump Pat Swilling to keep his great rush down from the outside. They just could not get it done.
So now Tony Zendejas will attempt to get the Rams on the scoreboard, and his kick is good. But the Rams had a 1st and goal and have to settle for a 31-yard field goal by Zendejas, who was perfect on the year. But it is now 10-3 in favor of the Saints. If you've just joined us, Bobby Hebert could not go after throwing in pregame warmups, and Steve Walsh got the call for the Saints. An interception by Vince Buck for New Orleans. Morton Anderson kicked a 45-yard field goal, and then Hayward caught a 22-yard pass from Walsh to give the Saints a 3-0 lead. And then a screen pass to Del Pino set up a Ram field goal, but the Saints have to feel good in stopping the Rams from getting the touchdown.
Well, 2 things on that drive by the Rams. You don't get that many big plays against this New Orleans defense. And when you do get one, very often they come right back, as they did in that situation, to push you back out of that touchdown opportunity and force you to take the 3 points.
Ricky Jackson with an unusual haircut.
Told me before he left home yesterday, cut both of his boys' hair that way. So if you folks down in New Orleans see a couple of youngsters walking around with their hair cut like that, you'll know who they belong to.
Zendejas will kick off for the Rams. It'll be a short kick. It'll be returned. Stanford Jennings, number 36. Jennings will bring it out to the 25. And all right.
Dick, check out what happens in the final seconds in Atlanta. 14-10 49ers. Billy Joe Tolliver, a last gasp pass. Michael Haynes at the other end for the touchdown, 44 yards away. 17-14 Atlanta. It's now a final, Dick.
Wow. I remember a few years ago when Billy White Shoes Johnson caught a Hail Mary pass to beat the 49ers on the last play. Haynes has done it there, and the 49ers are stunned. Meanwhile, the Saints have a first down on their 25, so that'll be good news to New Orleans fans. Walsh, plenty of time on the play fake. Completes the pass to Eric Martin. Out of bounds, close to the first down. Kevin Green covering that one.
Kevin Green, of course, tried at both defensive ends earlier in the year and now moved back to linebacker, but he is still carrying some of the bulk that he added to play defensive end. And I'm sure that one of the matchups that these New Orleans Saints are going to look for all day is a one-on-one matchup against a running back or a wide receiver where Kevin is involved in the coverage.
Second down and 1. Saints on their own 34. Hayward. Ironhead Hayward, and if they've missed his running. First down, getting close to midfield and picking up 12 in the process. Todd Light and Larry Kelm making the tackle. Running game of the Saints have struggled the last 3 weeks. They're glad to have Hayward back in the lineup, although Dalton Hilliard was placed on injured reserve. That's what they've rushed for in the last 3 games. Glenell Sanders is in, 4 linebackers and 4 defensive linemen in there now for the Rams. Want to welcome the viewers who watched the Atlanta Falcons beat the 49ers on the last play of the game. You're watching the Saints and the Rams, and we've just completed the first quarter. Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen. The Saints are leading 10-3, and we'll be right back to Anaheim Stadium. New Orleans 10 and the LA Rams 3. This is the only touchdown thus far. Steve Walsh, who started in place of Bobby Hebert, throwing to unlikely receiver Ironhead Hayward, and his first NFL touchdown catch made it 10-0 Saints. They have the ball first down on the 47. It's now 10-3, and on the reverse, carrying the ball is Fred McAfee in his first play in the National Football League, a rookie from Mississippi College.
So excited before this game. He was almost walking with his feet about 3 feet off the air. This whole team roots for this young man. He usually plays the opposing ball carriers, looks at film so he can kind of show their style, and he'll get in there and butt heads with this defense. So they really like him. Very quick, very strong, 190 pounds, but he runs bigger than that.
Second down and 6 on the Ram 49. McAfee going in motion. Penalty marker down, and Walsh gets hit in a big rush coming up from Robert Young, the rookie defensive end, but there's a flag then.
Robert Young had played inside at tackle, but this is the position they'd like to have him end up in, at that right defensive end.
Against the Rams. Offsides.
Offsides, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Kevin Green. He's looking to get going, has only 1 quarterback sack this year after leading the National League with a total of 46 in the past 3 years.
He is really a fish out of water in this 4-man, 3-linebacker setup. He is a 3-4 linebacker, and he's not afraid to tell you that. I wouldn't be surprised to see him traded at the end of the season.
Second down and 1, double tight ends for the Saints. Hayward will get the first down. And right now, let's check in again with Greg Gumbel in New York. Greg?
All right, Dick, it's all over at RFK Stadium in Washington. 4:01 into overtime. Chip Lowmiller from 41 yards out. The Redskins edge the Houston Oilers 16-13, Dick.
So the Redskins remain undefeated at 9-0 on the year. They're the team, I guess, for everyone to shoot out now in the NFC.
Well, they're giving new definition to front runners in the NFL. They certainly are doing that. And of course, these New Orleans Saints were perfect as well until Chicago bit them in the 4th quarter last week.
Saints with another first down, and it seems so far in this game that the Saints have played it in Ram territory almost exclusively.
Well, this is particularly an important drive for this defense, Dick, because the Rams able to get something going offensively just a few moments ago, but they've got to be able to sustain that momentum. That means the defense has got to do their job, shut down New Orleans offensively.
Saints with a first down on the Ram 43. Pass intended for McAfee is incomplete. Kevin Green was covering the rookie running back.
Again, that's the matchup they're looking for. They want to get Kevin Green isolated on a running back, on anyone really, that's got some speed, and then get the ball out there. That ball just overthrown by Walsh.
Not only is Dalton Hilliard on injured reserve, but Gil Fenerty, who was expected to start in this game, is hampered with a twisted knee in the fourth quarter of the Bears game last week, could not finish. Second down and 10. Walsh going to the air, up the middle, and the pass is caught. And it'll be a first down to John Tice, the second tight end, and the Saints are in business again inside the 25, and a pickup of 20 yards. Larry Kelm covering that time.
These Saint tight ends are basically blockers, but the minute you ignore them, you get this action right here. Tice finding the seam in the zone right there with plenty of room, and that was a good throw by Walsh.
First down for the Saints on the 23-yard line. Hayward back in there as the sole running back. Ironhead with blocking in front of him. Gets to the 20-yard line. Larry Kelm, who's been a busy linebacker for the Rams, on the stop.
Every time I see Ironhead run the ball, I think, what would it be like if you were a 175, 180-pound safety, and suddenly Ironhead at 265 or whatever he is right now, no one will tell you,
maybe more,
broke through, and you had to go up and tackle him. I don't think I'd want any piece of that.
Hayward came into the game as the second leading rusher for the Saints. Second down and 7. Rams have 4 defensive linemen and now 4 linebackers. Play fake. Walsh fires, incomplete. He was going for Hobie Brenner as tight end, but he was well defensed downfield by the Rams, and that'll bring up third down. Hobie Brenner played at USC, and John Robinson was his head coach of the Trojans.
Right at the end of that play, ball just off the fingertips of Hobie Brenner. The Rams have been stunting defensively on almost every down, trying to get a little extra pressure on Walsh. And so far, this New Orleans line doing a better job than they have over the past few weeks of picking up those stunts.
Third down and 7 for the Saints, who lead 10-3. Here comes a safety blitz on Walsh, and the pass is incomplete. And the rookie Wesley Carroll bobbled it, but he was wide open. And that'll bring up fourth down. Sammy Lilly was on the blitz this time for the Rams.
Here's the stunning we talked about. Kevin Green coming inside, and then the stunt on the outside. They picked it up well, and the pass is thrown where it should be a touchdown. And Wesley Carroll just could not handle it, Dick.
It is fourth down, and Morton Anderson is aboard to try a 37-yard field goal. Tommy Barnhart will hold. Anderson's kick is no good. He hooked it. Anderson's third miss this season. He is 17 for 20, and the score remains 10-3 in favor of the Saints.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chrysler Corporation and its divisions, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Tristan nasal sprays, Tristan, the face of relief today. And by Allstate for home, auto, life, and business insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen, and the reaction of John Robinson when Morton Anderson missed a field goal. That's a rare event, Merlin.
Well, John feels some new life in his veins right at that moment.
Let's see if his offense feels new life. First down, Del Pino picks up a couple as the Rams start from the 20-yard line. Wayne Martin with help from Pig Goff.
Walsh over there talking with the offensive lineman, the rest of that offense getting straightened out on what they want to do. On that last play, it looked to me like Walsh kind of pulled away from the rush. Well, here's the heat. Pat Swilling. Everett's going to look to him on the left and Jackson on the right.
2nd down and 8, and Everett steps up in the pocket, and the pass nearly intercepted. It was right in the hands of Sam Mills, who was juggling it as if he were in a nightclub, but he couldn't hold on, and that's the 3rd time Everett nearly had an interception. One was picked off.
This is role reversal. Watch this. The ball bounces free here. Mills has it in his hands. Watch Del Pino. Del Pino is now a defensive back. He's going to go in and knock it right out of Sam Mills' hand. Sam is saying, I had the ball. I had the ball. It was here.
Mills at 5'9", and one of the best run defenders. Now it's 3rd down and 8. Everett getting some time, and the pass is caught by Henry Ellard, and that'll be good enough for a 1st down, but the penalty marker is down. So let's wait, and it may be against the Rams, and apparently that's the case. A 15-yard reception.
Everybody walking back to the line of scrimmage because of that holding penalty. Everett needs to be able to step up. As long as they can push those linebackers wide and get that good lockup up front, Everett can step up into that pocket and get the ball away.
Hands to the face, number 67. Moved it to the face and held it there. 10-yard penalty.
That's Duval Love, who was playing guard. He played tackle the first time the teams played and was beaten badly by Ricky Jackson, and he's guilty of the hold in what would have been a 1st down for the Rams. It'll be 3rd down and 18, and Flipper Anderson, who has been on injured reserve, in the lineup now for the Rams. One of 4 wide receivers. Everett dumps it off to Vernon Turner. And Vernon Turner, fighting off defenders, will still be short of a 1st down by about 4 yards. Vince Buck finally making the tackle in the open field.
Let's see how the Rams are handling the rush here. On the outside, that's Jackson coming in, and Jackie Slater pushes him by. On the near side, here's the check on that. There's Jackson. Let's get a chance to see that switch sides on that play. That's Big Perry pushing him outside. Gerald Perry, good job of protection on that play.
4th down, Dale Hatcher will kick it away. Rams got out of trouble but couldn't get the 1st down. Gets off a beauty, Vince Buck. Back to return at the 28. And hit hard at the 33-yard line. 46-yard kick, but the penalty by the Rams prevented the 1st down, and the Saints will get it when we return.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Pictures from the MetLife blimp, and we're not far from Disneyland. There's the famed Matterhorn, and kids having a great time today, not far from the stadium. Right now, the Saints are having a good time, leading 10-3.
Carl Smith on the sideline, offensive coordinator of the Saints. We asked him about, will you go after Todd Light, the rookie? He said, we don't know how he's going to play, whether he's going to be tight or loose. He said, until we have a feeling for that, we won't try and attack him. They have not gotten him so far, but they're watching him.
1st down on the 34-yard line, and Hayward not going to get away this time. Kevin Green was the first defender to meet him, and the Saints apparently will lose a yard.
Todd Light, in our conversations with him yesterday, very, very confident. Feels he's ready. In fact, had it not been for some injuries, probably would have been in the lineup before this. He replaces Jerry Gray. In his earlier years, an All-Pro, a Pro Bowler, but he has simply slowed down to where he can't cover, and the rookie gets his opportunity.
He has faced Steve Walsh several times when the two went at each other at college. 2nd down and 11. Fred McAfee, the rookie, is in there now and gets the call, trying to go outside, and Larry Kelm grabs a hold of McAfee and ends things right there. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
Little linebacker Larry Kelm, right in the middle of your picture, will just fly to the outside. A chance to watch him here, and this is what a good linebacker must do. Read the play and flow to the outside, and look at him as he keeps his feet nice and wide, slides with the runner, and then takes him down at the line of scrimmage.
They'll call it 3rd down and 10. 4 wide receivers for the Saints. 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And a long count, and here comes the pressure on Walsh. He steps up, and the pass is incomplete, and a flag is down. Wesley Carroll was covered, and Darrell Henley may be called for pass interference.
A very late flag thrown, and the officials gathering there.
And apparently not.
I think they may say it was uncatchable.
Howard Rowe.
We're picking up the flag. Pass was ruled uncatchable. Brings up 4th down.
You're exactly right, Merlin.
This certainly was a pass that Walsh should have completed. The receiver is open, and Walsh simply overthrows his man right there. They're right. That ball too high to come down. No penalty.
So Tommy Barnhart, whose shank of 12 yards led to the final winning drive by the Bears a week ago, kicking for the first time. Vernon Turner back deep for the Rams. Gets off a beauty. Turner with the fair catch at the 21-yard line. Fine kick that time by Barnhart. 45 yards. There is an altercation in the middle of the field at the 25-yard line. When you see the officials without the hat on, you know that it's more than just a little push, but they've settled it. And the Rams offense will go to work with 8:11 remaining in the first half. Let's listen to the Rams double teaming Calvin Nicholson on the kick coverage.
It's no wonder that they end up head-to-head at the end of this play. Here's the confrontation. Newman and Nicholson.
They did a good job on Nicholson. First down on the 21-yard line for the Rams, who trail 10-3. And the handoff is to Marcus Dupree. And Dupree may get back to the line of scrimmage, making the tackle Toy Cook from the secondary and linebacker James Williams.
Got to be a little excitement down there in Mississippi. Philadelphia, Mississippi, the home to Marcus Dupree, and a home also to a young man by the name of Fred McAfee. They live right across the street from each other. But this youngster has great strength and an unusual career. Only 1 year an All-American at Oklahoma. Went right into the USFL and played very well for the New Orleans, later to be the Portland Breakers, and then got hurt. And he's made his comeback, and he is a force, a physical force to be reckoned with.
Robert Del Pino charges out to the 24-yard line. Dupree actually transferred to Southern Mississippi from Oklahoma, but never played in a game and suffered a knee injury. They thought he was through. Last year appeared on special teams for the most part and injured his toe in preseason. So he's had big injury problems and now hopes he'll be the big back the Rams need.
A remarkable package of speed and size and strength, and the Rams, desperately needing some help with their running game, were willing to take a shot with it.
3rd down and 7 on the Ram 24. Everett getting some time, and he completes the pass to Ron Brown. Make it Ellard, not Brown. Ellard, the leading receiver, and he's got a 17-yard pickup to the 41-yard line.
They're protecting very well inside. Watch the big man inside. That's Doug Smith on the nose right there. Duval Love 67, Jackie Slater outside. Look how they stack everyone inside, get them right together, holding Frank Warren up, giving Everett time to step up. Had time, could step up, and threw that nice pass to Henry Ellard.
First down, Rams on their 41-yard line. Del Pino fights his way for a gain of about 3 yards. Clock is running, under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Les Miller on the stop for the Saints.
Rhythm so important to this passing game. Ernie Zampese has designed an offense that really throws to the spots more or less. And whenever it is on, when he can get into the flow with his receivers, and when he knows he's going to have protection, he is mighty tough to stop.
You said the key word, though, protection, and he's not gotten much of that this year.
Well, you saw what happens on that last play when he does get it.
Second down and 8. He doesn't get it now and is hit from behind. Holds on to the ball and is down by Pat Swilling finally after James Williams also put on a rush. No gain on the play. The Atlanta Falcons beat the San Francisco 49ers on the last play of the game, and as a result, it is Atlanta now 5-4 in second place in the NFC West as the Niners drop to 4-5.
New Orleans Saints would desperately like to finish this season the way it started. The first half of the season positioning. The second half is where you win the championships.
Third down and 8. Del Pino fighting for first down yardage, but is short by a yard as he is stopped at midfield. But this is a good game plan for the Rams. They're making the Saints respect the running game. Frank Warren and Brett Maxey that time on the play, and it's 4th and 1.
No chance here for the Rams. They're just going to kick it away. Robinson playing it close to the vest. Yeah, I think it's probably a good choice. I think it's a good choice. The Saints are not a team that are going to take a lot of risks on their side either. You've got to be patient when you play the Saints.
Vince Buck goes back, and Dale Hatcher gets set to punt for the Rams. It'll sail into the end zone for a touchback and bounce out.
Once it touches the end zone,
touchback.
No way.
Another reason it was a good choice to kick the ball away. If you don't get the first down and the Saints score a touchdown, you're in big trouble. Right now, the Rams are in the game. Here's the lineup next Sunday on CBS for NFL football beginning at 12:30 Eastern. Atlanta at Washington. Both teams won today. 49ers and Saints, we talked about that game. And Philadelphia, Cleveland. 4 o'clock Eastern, the Giants against the Cardinals in Phoenix. First down on the 20-yard line for the Saints, leading 10-3. Walsh under some pressure. Pass is intercepted. Michael Stewart laterals to Todd Light. And he laterals to Pat Terrell, who smartly just sits on the ball. But the Rams will get it back in Saints territory. And the first turnover of the game by the New Orleans Saints.
Pressure on the outside from Gerald Robinson to force the bad throw. Watch it right here. As Walsh feels the scrambling pressure, overthrows again and puts it right into the hands of Michael Stewart. Now this is not smart football here. You got the chance, you don't want to boot it. Terrell finally lays down on it.
Rams ended up on the lucky side.
This game summary is sponsored by McLean Deluxe.
Hayward with his first touchdown career reception. Walsh starting for Hebert has thrown an interception to give the Rams an opportunity here, trailing 10-3. The field goal by the Rams, the first points allowed by the Saints in the first quarter this year. But a first down for the Rams on the New Orleans 31. Jim Everett's pass, and that should have been intercepted by Sam Mills. It was right in his hands on the pass intended for Damone Johnson.
Damone just jerked his arms apart, and Sam twice today has had his hands on the football and has been denied the interception because of good plays by the offense. Watch Damone here, jerking those arms and making it impossible for Sam to close his arms on the ball.
That was not a good decision on the pass, and Everett has been intercepted once, but 3 other times. Saints could have picked one other one off. Second down and 10. Everett stepping up, and his pass is caught by Price, and a first down to the 11-yard line. Jim Price hit by Gene Atkins and Brett Maxey, but a 20-yard gain.
If you can give Everett time, and that means denying these linebackers a chance to come upfield. Watch Perry right there, sticking with Swilling and putting him inside. No chance for them to get to the quarterback, and boy, he did his job.
Rams with a first down on the Saints 12 with 2:45 remaining in the half. Les Miller and Pig Goff at the defensive line against Everett, and the give is to Del Pino, and he gets to the 5-yard line. Gene Atkins again in a gain of 7.
Good blocking up front for Del Pino as they try to take advantage now of this opportunity to knock this game up. Let's look at that big line up front. They've had to adjust this line because of injuries. Damone Johnson, Gerald Perry, and Del Pino right on the back of Duvall Love, the pulling guard, to break to the outside and make some extra yardage.
We will not get another playoff before the 2-minute warning. Will give the Rams a chance to talk things over. They face a 2nd down and 3 as the Rams need a touchdown to tie this game. Back at Anaheim Stadium, Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen in a sellout here at the Big A. Saints lead 10-3. They led 10-0 at one point, but the Rams are knocking on the door, have a 2nd down and 3 on the Saints 5-yard line. And John Robinson said he thinks the Saints are the best goal line defense in the league. And the pitch is to Del Pino, and Del Pino barely gets to the 4. James Williams, who's playing today in place of Vaughn Johnson for the 2nd straight week, makes the tackle.
Rams have not put their big backers on the field, and a chance for them perhaps to put Marcus Dupree in there. Instead, they maintain Del Pino in there. But Steve Sidwell, in talking to us yesterday, said that the dangerous part of this Ram offense is Del Pino and Eller. Those are the guys that we worry most about.
The Rams are going to call a timeout right here as Pat Carter, the 2nd tight end, came in. So a timeout, 1:27 on the clock.
So very important to take advantage of your offensive opportunities. The Rams have already blown one chance to get a touchdown in this game. They've got another one right here. They need to punch it into the end zone. They want to get this game back on track.
3rd and 2. Everett is rushed, and the pass is knocked down, intended for Del Pino, but a tremendous rush by Gene Atkins from his free safety position made Everett jump, and a penalty marker is down, and that may be against the Saints, and if it is, it'll be a first down for the Rams.
Big rush, and also a fine defensive play by Ricky Jackson over there.
It could be half the distance, but that may be enough for the first down.
Foul, number 28, unnecessary roughness on the
unnecessary roughness against Gene Atkins, and it is a first down on the 2.
Watch the pressure from the inside, and right at the end of the rush, the hands to the face. Now that's just not something you can get away with. Not intentional, but anytime the hands go to the face, they throw the flag. There's Jackson making a great play on Del Pino, but it won't count.
1st and goal on the 2. Del Pino gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. That is the 10th touchdown of the season for Robert Del Pino, and he came into today's play leading the NFL in that department.
The man that Steve Sidwell said they were worried most about comes right back to tie this ball game and allow the Rams to convert this opportunity to score.
Zendejas needs the conversion to tie the game. He's been perfect this year, and it's a tie, 10-10. So capitalizing on Stewart's interception and on the turnover, Robert Del Pino. Good blocking up front by the Rams.
The strength of this New Orleans defense, linebacking. And how do you take care of that? Jackie Slater down block. Duval Love inside. Watch how they take care of this New Orleans defense and make room inside for Del Pino to score.
Zendejas kicking the ball off, and it sails through the end zone. It's a touchback, and the Saints will begin from the 20-yard line. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the half. But at one time, the Saints had a 10-point lead, and the Rams have come back to tie it up. A minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first half, and not one member of the Rams starting defensive line is in there now. Bill Hawkins, Mike Peel, and Gerald Robinson are the 3-man front, going with more 3-man line, and Kevin Green obviously also, while he's a linebacker, is a defensive pass rusher on the outside.
Jeff Fisher expecting the pass here, and he's got fresh legs on the field. He wants to get the pass rush underway, but boy, those defenders are going to be playing deep. Nobody's going to get behind him here.
7 defensive backs. First down on the 20. Inside handoff to Buford Jordan, and he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. Coming up on the NFL Today Dockers halftime report, Greg and Terry will have all the scores, highlights, and latest information from around the league. 1 minute to play in the half. Walsh, incomplete. Buford Jordan was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 3rd down, and the Rams, if they hold here, will get another chance offensively.
We still keep expecting to see Walsh go after Todd Light, but they've not thrown at the rookie yet. And again, an indication that either they're not sure exactly how he's playing out there, or simply that he is doing a fine job of covering.
Well, Light told us yesterday, so I've been playing cornerback since the 9th grade.
Oh, he's not afraid. He's not afraid to step out there and cover.
Pressure on Walsh from Green, and the pass is caught by the rookie Carroll, but it's way short of the first down by 5 yards. Jerry Gray, playing in nickel situations, makes the tackle for the Rams, and that'll bring up 4th down with 46 seconds remaining, and the Rams will use up a timeout. They have 1 left.
The Saints, an unusual team in the sense that they want to get those receivers coming across the field, get them the football, and then they expect them to run for big yardage. When a receiver, Wesley Carroll, caught that football, he's 5 yards short of the first down, and the Rams did a good job of getting him down before he could turn back up the field. But this is Jim Mora's conservative nature showing here. They're not going downfield. They're saying, hey, we're content. Even though the score is tied, we feel we can come back in the second half and take charge.
And actually, John Robinson doesn't dislike this kind of a game either. He says, we'll play the Saints game because that's the only way to go it, and we'll go down to the end and see who gets the last chance to win it.
In fact, in talking to us yesterday, John Robinson said we like that because we have the feeling that we'll have the advantage late in the 4th quarter. Well, that is yet to be seen.
Tommy Barnhart will kick. Vernon Turner deep for the Rams. And the whistle blew before the kick. Penalty marker down way upfield, and a delay of the game call may be coming up against the Saints.
Delay of game, New Orleans, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
Jim Moore is not overly enthralled with that penalty.
I'm sure he said take as much time as you can, but don't take quite that much.
Another fine kick by Barnhart. Turner on his 32. And Turner is stopped at the 45-yard line of the Rams. A 14-yard return. Brett Maxey on the tackle, and with 34 seconds to go, Rams have one timeout to try to get some more points on the scoreboard. Cincinnati Bengals win their first game of the year, and there's an injured Saint on the field, and that's Benny Thompson.
Taking his time getting off the field. John Robinson's conversation with us yesterday, he said, hey, Saints game is going to be typical of all of our games with him. He said we'll probably slug it out for about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and then we'll see what we can do at the end of the ball game. Well, the slugging out process has gone pretty well here in the first half.
First down, Rams on their 46. Everett completes to Price.
Fumble.
And the Saints get the ball back. And apparently the whistle had not blown, and they're marking it as Saints ball. And the fumble recovery by Bensy Glenn. Jim Price was doing all he could to hold on to the ball, but he couldn't. And New Orleans gets it back with 22 seconds to play in the half.
Gene Atkins will strip this football on the inside. Watch all the bumping taking place. There's Atkins just driving inside. Look at this as he just pulls the arm and gets that football away from Price. Outstanding defensive play by Atkins.
I was about ready to praise Price for holding onto the ball with all of those Saints on his back, but he didn't do it long enough.
Well, that's pure and simple, an attack on the football by Atkins.
Saints have all three of their timeouts remaining, and they're not far from a Morton Anderson field goal try, but they're going to review this one to see whether Price was down. The whistle is strictly a judgment call on the field.
I don't think there's any question that the ball is loose before he touches the ground. Watch Atkins again. See, the arm has already taken it out. He's already pulled the arm away, and the ball had dropped out on the far side of Price's body. John Robinson is going to argue, but I think he's going to lose this one.
Here's another look.
We saw a lot of New Orleans Saints on that one, didn't we? That's good defense. Lots of people to the ball.
Play stands is called on the field. Fumble recovered by New Orleans. First down.
They did not change the call. Ball was jarred loose. So it's the Saints with a first down on their 44-yard line. 22 seconds remaining in the half. 3 timeouts remaining for New Orleans. Walsh with the design rollout. Incomplete. Floyd Turner, the intended receiver, and Todd Light finally gets the ball thrown his way.
He went after him on the pattern where they tried to drive him off and did a good job of doing it, but Walsh with an inaccurate pass. Walsh has thrown the ball over his receivers' heads earlier, and this pass just inaccurate as he threw it to the outside. Had he thrown a good pass, it would have been completed. Just watch the bottom of the screen. They'll run Light off. He's giving plenty of room here, and then come back to the ball. Watch where this pass is thrown. That's just a poorly thrown football.
Second down. Wall's pass is caught. Eric Martin. And they've got a first down, stopping the clock with 10 seconds to go. They're already in field goal range for Morton Anderson. They probably were when they had the play started, and a gain of 25.
Well, Jim Morris said the cutoff line, the automatic line for him is the 35. He said anytime we're inside the 35, I feel very comfortable with putting my field goal kicker on the field. But Walsh is still out there. They're going to pop one more time to get a little closer.
10 seconds remain in the half.
Walsh will not have this football in his hands very long. I can promise you that.
Walsh gone for 6. Touchdown, Wesley Carroll. In the middle of double coverage, Miami rookie Wesley Carroll with a touchdown catch with 3 seconds to play in the first half. Carroll's first touchdown reception of his career, and a brilliant one.
You said it right. Right into the middle of coverage on that last play. He's got 2 people all over it. And a chance here to watch a great catch as he just goes up and strips the ball away. You can't cover a man any better than that. That's just an athletic catch by Wesley Carroll, a rookie who's really had an impact on this team.
I heard the cha-ching in the background after Carroll's touchdown catch.
And totally out of character for the very, very conservative Mora. And I think he was probably shaking a little bit on the sideline as he saw that football go into the air. Walsh should not have thrown the football, but they end up with a touchdown anyway.
Morton Anderson will try to give the Saints a 7-point lead. And it's 17-10.
Michael Stewart and Darrell Henley on the coverage as 2 Miami teammates hook up. And the 6-foot Carroll goes right over the top of the 5'9" Henley to steal that football and the touchdown.
How about another cha-ching? All right. 17-10. Second touchdown pass of the day for Walsh, but the fumble by Price set it up when it appeared as if the Rams were getting in position to take a lead before halftime, and how things changed dramatically in a short time.
And I really think that the Ram defense relaxed on that play. I think they were guessing that it was going to be a short pass, that the New Orleans Saints were going to be conservative, as they so often are. The Saints were not conservative on that call. The emotion of this game can turn. A moment ago, the Rams celebrating a touchdown that tied this ball game, and suddenly the Saints jump back on top.
Rams with a terrific comeback after falling behind 10-0. Now they're down by 7 with 3 seconds to go. Anderson will kick off. Turner and Del Pino are back deep. Short kick, Carter, back up tight end, will run out the clock. So a subdued Anaheim Stadium crowd sees the Saints struck late, and that's the end of the first half with the score, the Saints 17 and the Rams 10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Holiday Inn Hotels, Holiday Inn, stay with someone you know. And by McDonald's, getting more for your money. That's McDonald's today. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America, the cars more people depend on. Sure Pro Stick deodorant for men, the Pro works overtime every time. And by the American Express card. Membership has its privileges.
We're back at Anaheim Stadium. It's been a while since Merlin Olsen has broadcast the Rams game, but he sure had many distinguished years as part of the fearsome foursome, as a great defensive tackle, making big plays all over the place. He could make All-Pro today in my book. Hall of Famer, and there he is with Deacon Jones. Something that's been missing after a long line of great defensive linemen. The Rams, no sacks today, only 11 coming into this game.
In fact, you talk to the Rams, talk to Jeff Fisher. The thing he needs most is that muscle up front in that 4-man line. And he's desperately looking for that. They hope to pick that up in the draft next year, but we did have that. with Deacon Jones and Lamar Lundy and Rosie Greer, myself, all of us well over 6'5" and well over 260 pounds. In fact, the average weight about 285.
Well, Jeff asked you to come out of retirement to help him next
No
year.
way.
I know you
No,
declined.
he doesn't. He's not going to get me back out there.
What about this game? We have had 3 scores off of turnovers. The opening field goal by Morton Anderson, and then Michael Stewart's interception ultimately resulted in a Del Pino touchdown, and then the fumble by Jim Price. That was the big turnover toward the end of the half as the Saints took the lead. Tony Zendejas kicking off. Quinn Early and Stanford Jennings are deep for the Saints. 17-10, New Orleans leading, looking to come back from their first loss a week ago. Here's Jennings, just added to the roster. Brings it out to the 21-yard line. Stopped by Sammy Lilly. First half statistics.
Each team with the same amount of possessions. The New Orleans Saints able to do their job a little bit better. And here's something interesting. The Saints lead the team and lead the league in time of possession, and yet in this ball game, the Rams have been able to dominate possession in the first half. And of course, all 3 of those turnovers resulting in points.
So the Rams really are on their game. The turnovers didn't help them at all, as there's an injured Saint, Quinn Early, who is part of the kickoff return team, and a starting wide receiver is shaken up.
Saints have their best receiving core ever, and Quinn Early a very important part of that. He is the downfield speed of that core. He's the one they want to streak with. They're working on his right knee.
But for the Rams, I think that their survival in the second half really depends on protection for Jim Everett, and really trying to put some pressure on Steve Walsh, because he has been a little shaky when they put it on him.
Walsh has made some very bad throws here in the first half, and the Rams have not been able to get consistent pressure on any quarterback during the year. They would love to be able to do it here today. In the middle of your screen, number 89, you see him backpedaling. He's going to kind of just get a pop right there. Somebody knocked down and ended up rolling right into his knee, but he is up on his own and under his own power off the field, and that is very good news for the New Orleans Saints.
Floyd Turner is in the game, along with Eric Martin and Wesley Carroll. First down on the 21 for the Saints. Walsh pass caught by Turner. See where his forward progress is. Michael Stewart made the tackle, and he may have the first down. Depends on the spot of the ball.
One of the pieces that is in this defense already for Jeff Fisher as he arrives is that big safety that can move up and play close to the line of scrimmage, and that's Michael Stewart. He has been very impressive, and he is very physical, as you saw in that last play.
They're going to measure this. Saints, by the way, have had the run of things against the Rams. They've won 5 of their last 6, and playing outside the dome against the Rams has not hurt their cause at all. They have won the last 4 games here at Anaheim Stadium. So their defense has really paid off. It is a first down for the Saints.
Dick, as they measure that and give the first down to the Saints. Interesting that last year the Saints would be healthy throughout most of the year, ended up 8-8. This year, in spite of the many injuries, they've had the 7-1 start. But it's a wonder. You've got to ask the question, can they survive missing Vaughn Johnson and Kennard and Haberdink and Hilliard? They really have had some serious injuries, and the question is, can they keep the pace here in the second half of the season?
First and 10 on the 32. Walsh, and Carroll makes another circus catch. Down at the 40-yard line, 2 yards or a yard short of a first down, and Larry Kelm was covering.
Well, they're looking for Kevin Green, as we mentioned. They like to get him right here, coming from the outside, and as Richard Cooper gets a hang on him right there and just pushes him wide. We talked about Walsh's lack of arm strength. He needs to have his feet set and be able to step up. When he has to throw without that, he has problems.
Second down and 1. Hayward has the first down. Michael Stewart on the tackle. I think 1 yard straight ahead. He falls forward and he's got it.
First down. Your attention, please. JB Frost, please report to the security office on the
Kevin Green limps off the field for the Rams. Could be a tough loss for them. First down for the Saints on their 43-yard line. Opening minutes of the second half. Roman Pfeiffer has replaced Green. Going deep again and overthrowing his target, Floyd Turner, by a good margin, is Walsh. Henley and Terrell double covered on the play, but Kevin Green trying to work out a problem with his back, apparently.
Motioning that he apparently had stretched something or kinked something in his lower back, perhaps a spasm, and they're working with him to try and get a little bit of tension out of that back. He's been playing quite a bit of defensive end today, as well as linebacker, and has been able to get some good pressure on Walsh during the early part of this game.
Second down and 10. 16. Play fake. Walsh's pass up the middle. Another completion into Ram territory. Todd Light makes the catch on Wesley Carroll, whose fourth catch of the game is his career best after grabbing 3 against the Bears last week. Here's Greg Gumbel with an update. Greg?
All right, Dick, at Dallas, the Cowboys take advantage of a blocked punt. Emmitt Smith from a yard out scores his second touchdown of the day. The Cowboys lead over the Cardinals. Is now 17-7 in the third, Dick.
Coming off the stunning loss to the Lions last week at the Silverdome, the Cowboys in front in that game. Meanwhile, the Saints are driving. First down on the Ram 42. Buford Jordan is the lone running back. And it's Jordan with a quick acceleration. Nearly broke off another defender and picks up at least 5 on that carry, with Todd Light making the tackle for the Rams, and he get 6 out of it.
First series of the second half extremely important to both teams as you come out and try and establish the tempo again. The Saints doing a good job of that offensively so far, as they have moved down the field very comfortably against this Ram defense.
Report on Quinn Early, who was injured on the kickoff return. He has a sprained knee and could return. Speaking of returning, Kevin Green is back in the lineup for the Rams. Hayward gets 1 to the 35, and Glenell Sanders, who's been playing today as part of a 4 lineman, 4 defensive, 4 linebacker alignment, makes the tackle. Coming out is Chris Pike, shaken up for the Rams.
It takes him a while to get off the field at about 6'8", about 310 pounds. He doesn't roll off that field too quickly. The Rams have put their pass rushers on the field, rotating those defensive linemen to keep fresh legs on the field.
Third down and 3. Out of the shotgun. Here's a safety blitz on Walsh. He puts it up. Couldn't get it to Turner, and Henley was covering on the play, and that will bring up 4th down for Morton Anderson.
Craig Hayward just did a fantastic job of picking up that blitz. Watch him. They're going to blitz up in here, and he's going to come across and take 2 of them out. Watch this play develop. Hayward sees the blitz coming, knocks one guy and hits the second one, and Walsh had time to throw that football, but I don't think he thought he had time. That would come with experience, and that's where his inexperience hurt him on that play.
The Saints will kick it away. Barnhart will be punting. Jerry Gray and Darrell Henley are back deep. Gray on the left for the Rams. Penalty marker is down, and we'll have a delay of game call against the Saints. Second time today they've been called for that.
Dick, I think in this situation they want the 5 yards. They feel more comfortable kicking, and I don't think the Rams are going to take it.
New Orleans. Penalty yardage is declined. Still 4th down.
Nice try.
Well, I got to ask the question here. Why not give Morton Anderson a chance? He kicked it 60 last week. This isn't that far.
That was 3 seconds left in the half when Anderson tried his and made his 60-yarder last week.
Well, let's see if they can get it out of bounds down deep. If they can, they're right. The Poocher.
And a good high kick. Let's see what kind of bounce it takes. It's a touchback. Saints had a bunch of white shirts down there. And the Rams will begin from the 20, trailing by a touchdown.
The Rams have been running over there behind Jackie Slater all day long. An interesting combination of runs, but one of the things that I really wonder about is that they said they were going to play Marcus Dupree in there. They spotted him a few times. If you're a running back, you need to get in there and get some continuity and get some flow. And I've got to wonder why Robinson hasn't followed up on his feeling about giving Dupree an opportunity to get in there and play. You just can't let him go in there one play and then jerk him out of there.
Chris Pike has a wrist injury. He's headed to the dressing room. First down for the Rams and a play fake. Everett under pressure, and the pass is caught by Henry Ellard. With Toy Cook right with him, Ellard with a fine catch gives the Rams a first down at the 36.
Play action to slow the rush, although not a great play action fake from Everett. Now watch the reception on this. Very close to the sideline. Did he have 2 feet in?
Yes.
I think he did. Just barely. Watch it slowly. Ellard comes down 1 foot and a 2nd foot just barely in bounds. Boy, that is a toe dance on the sideline by Henry Ellard.
They're going to review this one, but the replay should show that he had both feet in. And Henry Ellard, who is the leading receiver, has yet to catch a touchdown pass this year. He has 40 in his career. And this will go as a completion.
If you're studying patterns by receivers, Henry Ellard runs one of the best outs in the business. Really gets that break to the sideline. And Jimmy Everett has tremendous confidence in him, knows how quickly he can adjust to the ball. That was a fine passing play.
First down on the Rams 36. Del Pino for a couple. Sam Mills on the tackle. If you're wondering about the Rams' strategy to have a balanced attack, they've done exactly that today. They have rushed the ball 15 times and passed 14 times. So time of possession also indicates that they're right on the line there.
We mentioned that even though they weren't going to get big chunks of yardage with that running game, they have to balance it out. They have to make those Saints believe that they are not afraid to run the football. That's the only way they're going to be able to protect Jim Everett.
2nd and 9 with Marcus Dupree checking in. Everett's pass is caught at the 45 and close to first down yardage. That was Aaron Cox with his first catch of the game. Brett Maxey on the tackle.
One of the things you do when you want to try and force linebackers out wide is take big splits. Notice how big these splits are, and when you do that, you force those outside rushers to come a long distance on both sides. And that's one thing that the Rams have been very successful with today, is getting those outstanding linebackers way outside and then forcing them to come a long distance toward the quarterback. At the same time, Everett has been able to step up inside and get the ball off.
They're short of a first down by less than a yard. It'll be 3rd down. Everett went to the sidelines and he's got the play. Saints lead 17-10, 8:23 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Pat Swilling, by the way, has both of the Saints quarterback sacks today, and he leads the league with 10.5. 3 tight ends for the Rams and Del Pino. And McGee, and the pitch goes to Del Pino. First down as the Rams get close to midfield.
First down, Rams.
The Rams have not been afraid to challenge this #1 defense in the NFL. Now, they have done a pretty good job of moving the ball. Del Pino, as he has during this entire season, the big weapon here today for the Los Angeles Rams.
1st and 10. On the 48 of the Rams, Flipper Anderson has checked in a play fake. Everett's pass up the middle, and it's caught by Ellard again. He has made some sensational plays today, and that's good for 17 yards with Gene Atkins defending.
Ellard again, the go-to receiver. We mentioned Del Pino and Ellard as being the singled out by the New Orleans Saints as the most dangerous. Boy, just hanging that football up high. Look at the protection. Doug Smith up in front there. Newberry, number 66. Duval Love, 67. Slater on the outside. Gerald Perry. I'll tell you, they're doing a fine job here of protecting Everett.
1st down on the 35 of the Saints. Penalty marker down as Del Pino gets a wide hole off the left side and fights his way inside the 30. Sam Mills and Brett Maxey on the stop, but there were 2 penalty markers thrown. And that'll be against the Saints. Frank Warren might have jumped off sides. By the way, Del Pino has gained 34 yards on the ground to lead the Rams.
Defense, number 51 offsides, 5-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
Anaheim Stadium and a brilliant Sunday in Southern California. A sellout crowd on hand to see whether the Rams can send the Saints to their 2nd straight loss. Dick Stockton here along with Merlin Olsen. Saints took a 10-0 lead. The Rams answered that with 10 of their own, and then a late touchdown in the 1st half gave the Saints the lead, but the Rams are fighting back. They have a 1st and 5 on the New Orleans 30. Robert Del Pino, no gain on the play as the Saints smelled it out nicely. Frank Warren and Brett Maxey making the tackle.
Rams have continued to pound, and as we mentioned, their running game has not been beautiful today, but it has allowed them to protect Jim Everett. And when you're facing the best sacking team in the NFL, and you know that your real opportunity in this game has to rest in Everett's passing arm, you've got to protect him, and they've done a great job of that. They've been giving some help to those tackles with the wide receivers and the line, or with the tight ends and the running backs, but they've done a good job of keeping them off Everett.
2nd and 5, Everett going on top, and it's intercepted. Gene Atkins. And Everett has to make the tackle on Atkins, who may be shaken up, and a 40-yard return by Atkins after the interception. Atkins' 2nd of the year, and an injured Ram also down.
This ball simply overthrown by Jimmy Everett. Has time to wait inside. They picked up the blitz. Del Pino picked up Sam Mills inside, but that ball clearly over Damone Johnson's hands, and Atkins right in place to take it down. One of the Rams knocked down one of the receivers. Let's see if we can see that. It looked to be, is it Ellard that's down?
We'll wait till we know. So Everett trying to get Atkins, but a 40-yard return off the interception puts the Saints in good position. 1st down on the 48 after the interception by Atkins. Buford Jordan takes a host of Rams to bring him down after picking up about 5 yards on the play.
Watch the center fielder Gene Atkins as he drops back and then gets a great jump on this ball to get himself into position. Everett just throwing the ball deep. But Atkins is one of the most underrated safeties in the NFL, right there to take advantage of the bad throw by Jim Everett.
Atkins suffered a bruised knee. You watch his 40-yard return that gave the Saints possession in Ram territory. They have 2nd down and 5 at the 43 of the Rams. Short for maybe a yard, that's all. By the way, when we left for commercial, there was an injured Ram as well, and that was Robert Del Pino, the running back, but he came off under his own power.
And a little stinger in his neck, common injury, and shaking it off on the sideline, which is good news for the Rams. Right now, very important for the Rams to show some muscle defensively. They're not the kind of team that can come back from the big deficit, and if New Orleans can punch it down and put it in the end zone, they might be able to put this game away right now.
Winding down to 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Third down and 3. Walsh's pass is incomplete. It was intended for Wesley Carroll, but a big hit by Michael Stewart will bring up 4th down, and he is shaken up a bit.
Stewart injured himself as he levels Carroll. This is, again, a badly thrown ball. You've got to put that ball down. You don't stretch your receivers out like that. No other receivers in the league are as courageous as going inside, but if you don't throw that football down low to protect them, they're going to be spending some time in the hospital. That's that medicine ball we talked about last week. You throw that ball up there to the wide receiver, you better go get some medicine for him. But in this case, the medicine has to go to Michael Stewart, who delivered that in.
John Robinson went out on the field and came back. Stewart, who has an interception today, and that pickoff ultimately resulted in a touchdown. He's all right, apparently. By the way, the touchdown by Del Pino by the Rams was only the 2nd rushing score against the Saint defense this year.
A linebacker in college, he shows that kind of toughness here. Knocks the ball right away from Wesley Carroll. Linebackers are tough, even when they're playing in defensive backfield positions. He'll be all right.
Jerry Gray and Darrell Henley go back deep as Barnhart gets set to kick. Good kick. They're going to let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone. A little bit too long, you're right. So the Rams avoided trouble after the turnover. First time that's happened today, and they'll come back with the ball. Well, these fine pictures of the Big A, courtesy of the MetLife Blimp, which travels over 50,000 miles to cover television specials and sporting events around the United States, and we're glad that they're in the skies today in Southern California. Rams with a 1st down on the 20. Here's Marcus Dupree trying to get going. Dupree, expected to carry 15 times today, has carried for only a handful.
Pat Swilling, very, very aggressive and upfield. What do you do if a man is that aggressive? You run inside of him. He takes himself out of this play. They're able to pick up some yardage with Dupree. Swilling, of course, thinking pass, thinking sack.
Del Pino is in the game as the lone running back on 2nd down and 7. Play fake, and Everett sidearms it, incomplete. He was going for Damone Johnson, his tight end. Kind of had to fling the ball as Sam Mills put some pressure in from the inside. Ram turnovers, the first 2 of them resulted in Saints scores, and the last time New Orleans had a punt.
Well, Rams happy to get away on the last opportunity there, but boy, you can't turn the ball over like that, and this is such an opportunistic Saints team. They lead the league in interceptions. They put the squeeze on it, as you saw in that last play. They're getting back after Everett again. He threw a bad pass there because he was afraid of the rush. They were right in his face.
They were right there. Out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 7. Deep. And it's caught by Flipper Anderson. He wrestled the ball away from a defender, Vince Buck. 41 yards, and welcome back to active duty to Flipper Anderson.
This is a Brinks job. This ball is intercepted. Watch Buck intercept the football and have Flipper Anderson steal it from him. That's a great play by Anderson. Buck, who thinks he's a receiver when that ball is in the air, is one for a moment, but then he's the victim of a heist as Flipper Anderson takes it away from him.
First down on the 36-yard line. Del Pino gets to the 34 of the Saints. Sam Mills and Toy Cook are there. Flipper Anderson went out for one play, and he's back in there again. And he's had some big games against the New Orleans Saints, including the NFL single game record in 1989, 336 yards.
I think they remember both the name and the number very easily.
Second down and 8. Everett's pass is caught. Henry Ellard inside the 15. 21 yards.
It seems like such a complex game, but look at the room that Everett has and the time Everett has. They'll open a hole inside for him, and watch this. He just steps right up inside, and when he can do that, look out, especially when he's going to his favorite receiver, Henry Ellard.
Ellard with 4 catches, 71 yards. Vince Buck was defending, and a first down on the 13. Del Pino gets inside the 10-yard line, and that's the kind of play that have kept the Rams in business today, keeping the ball on the ground, and that was James Williams on the stop.
They have not given up on their running game all day long, and they've mixed the pass back in, then they come right back with the run to hit this New Orleans defense once again. On that last play, much the same as they did a moment ago, they caught Ricky Jackson rushing upfield and went inside of him to pick up the yardage.
Second down and 4. And the pitch to Del Pino. He'll be shy of the first down and will set up third down and short. Ronaldo Turnbull and Sam Mills on the play as the time runs down, and that is the end of the third quarter here at Anaheim Stadium with the score, the Saints 17 and the Rams
10. You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Anaheim Stadium. Saints lead 17-10. The Rams have third down and 3 coming up on the 6-yard line.
Now that's a road warrior there. Jackie Slater in his 16th year. He and Ricky Jackson have faced each other 21 times. The only one they've missed in the last 11 years, the first game this year.
Here comes pressure from behind, a fumble, and the Saints recover. Pat Swilling came from the blind side, and Ricky Jackson picked up the loose ball, and the Rams are foiled in their attempt to tie the game, and for Swilling, his 3rd sack of the game.
You put the lid on those outside linebackers, but you can't keep them down all day. Swilling right here, reaching in and snapping that football out of Everett's hands. Just a great job of taking the ball away from the offense. The turnover bug bites the Rams again, and that is outstanding defensive play.
4th turnover by the Rams. And the Saints, why are they 7-1? You just saw why.
Well, that's exactly the kind of play Swilling made last week against the Bears. He continues to do that all year long.
First down on the 15, and Walsh going to the air. Completes it to Floyd Turner. A gain of 17 yards with Pat Terrell defending. You know, Michael Stewart was shaken up He's not been at safety, and Anthony Newman taking his place, but a first down for the Saints on their 33.
That doesn't really hurt them so much here. Newman, a fine player. What that does do is takes them deeper in the lineup if they have to go to nickel, and that might be a real problem.
Ironhead Hayward gets a big opening off the left side and gets 5 yards. Larry Kelm has the unfortunate assignment of trying to bring him down.
Just a final note on that turnover down inside the 20-yard line, Dick. The second time today that the Rams have been down there with an opportunity to score and turn the ball over. You cannot turn the ball over when you have a chance to punch some points in.
You talked about their opportunities. They squandered 2 of them. Second down and 5. Swing it out to Hayward. He'll be short of a first down. Making the tackle was Kevin Green and Darrell Henley. Bringing up to date on the scores earlier in the game. And by the way, Michael Stewart returned to the game on that last play. Early in the 4th quarter. 2 minutes gone by. Saints lead the Rams 17-10. The Rams have had some golden opportunities to come back in this game to tie it. Two tight ends on 3rd and 2. And the pass incomplete. Hobie Brenner. And covering was Pat Terrell as Larry Kelm came in and almost got to Steve Walsh.
Fine play action. And not a bad pass from Walsh, but that was just a great play by Pat Terrell. Stretching out full extension to knock that ball away. But Hobie Brenner trying to get his hands on it.
Tommy Barnhart into kick.
Not a great day for the punters today. They've been kicking it into the end zone. I don't think you get this one there, though.
Vernon Turner looking for the return.
Bad kick.
They're going to let it bounce, and it goes out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 26-yard line. So the Rams will get another opportunity. Boy, they've had plenty. And we'll return to Anaheim Stadium after this message from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS. Rams have the ball again, starting from their 26. Ernie Zampese upstairs. He's the passing master.
Well, he is the offensive coordinator, and I'm sure one thing is on his mind is, can they give Everett time? Can they control those outside linebackers? When they've been able to do that, they've moved the ball.
Keeping the ball on the ground. Delpino picks up a yard, maybe 2. Jim Wilkes, the nose man, in there. Time of possession is virtually even in this game. That's a moral victory alone for the Rams.
Jim Mora and his team very comfortable in close ball games. They can relax. They feel confident that they can get that football back from the Rams, get some more points. But even if they don't, if they can keep the Rams from scoring, they feel they're going to win this game, and obviously they are. They're patient. They're being patient.
2nd and 9. Everett
threw it away.
Incomplete. His arm may have been hit as he got some big pressure that time. Sam Mills and Pat Swilling. Swilling having a terrific game with 3 sacks and a forced fumble.
Sam Mills, the quickest inside linebacker getting to the hole in the NFL. And at 5'9", nobody was going to take him in the NFL. They said, hey, he can't play. But he played for the Stars, and Coach Moore brought him with him to New Orleans. And right now, there's not a team in the NFL that wouldn't love to have Sam Mills playing for them. And on top of his great play, he is the leader on the field. He's a coach on the field.
Ernie Zampese says you'd fire the scout who would bring a guy like that.
That's right.
3rd down and 9. Caught by Price.
Short.
He's short of a first down by 3 yards. Toy Cook and Sam Mills again on the stop. Let's see where they spot it. They may be closer than 3. Yeah, they're about a half a yard.
I don't think that John Robinson's going to mess around with it. He's looking at the clock. He still feels there's plenty of time left in this ball game. He's going to be patient as well. The Rams will kick it away. Both coaches using some of the same philosophy, and one of them may be sorry he did at the end of this ball game.
Dale Hatcher will kick. Vince Buck standing at the 25 for the Saints. Good kick. Buck started in, then had to go back. And it cost him as he is nailed at the 20-yard line. And that's where the Saints will get it. Sammy Lilly, Glenell Sanders. Good special teams play and only a 2-yard return.
Watch the downfield pressure. Sammy Lilly just flies down the field. That's the double team. He gets right past it. I don't even think he saw Buck coming. That was a real collision.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
There you see at the bottom, Everett 2 interceptions. Merlin could have been a lot more today.
It should have been. There were a lot of balls in the hands of the defense that have been knocked away or dropped.
First down, Saints on their 21-yard line. Ironhead Hayward. Carl Wilson. First man to hit him. Jim Dombrowski has an argument with someone.
Dick, this is the point in the ball game. You've got the same offensive linemen in there on both sides, and they've been rotating defensive linemen, both teams. This is the point in the game where the offensive linemen begin to fatigue, and it's going to be easier, I think, to get a rush on those passers. Let's keep an eye on that as this fourth quarter bears down.
As you say it, Hawkins, Peel, and Robinson all check in on the defensive line for the Rams. Second down and 9. Pressure from the secondary. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Eric Martin. Darrell Henley was covering, but Anthony Newman came in on a safety blitz on that down.
Well, the New Orleans Saints are playing a game of keep away here in the fourth quarter, and they've done a pretty good job of that during the year. As we mentioned earlier, they lead the league in time of possession. Well, they would like to possess this football as they move down the field because the Rams have the edge so far today.
Third down and 9. Walsh has a lot of time. He loops it for Martin, and Martin makes the reception. Eric Martin on the high lofting pass, good for 22 yards as Henley and Terrell make the tackle on the really reliable possession receiver, Eric Martin.
Steve Walsh got away with a throw into double coverage a little while ago. He gets away again here. Tremendous protection. Stan Brock doing a great job on his man. Ironhead picking somebody up, that offensive line doing their work. But this ball thrown right in the middle of 4 Ram defenders. And Eric Martin simply went up and took the ball down on his own. That's a great individual effort.
9:16 remaining in the fourth quarter. First down on the 44 of the Saints. Walsh is pulled. Oh, 3 different players had a shot at it, but it was Michael Stewart who nearly intercepted on the pass headed for Floyd Turner.
If Michael Stewart catches that football, he's got a touchdown. There's no one between him and the goal line. Now look at the look on his face, and he knows it. This pass must have been telegraphed. He got a great jump on it. And look at that. If he gets that football, he's gone. And then Turner got his hands on it, only to have it stripped away. A lot of action on that particular play.
You can credit Anthony Newman with preventing the reception. Hayward. And that'll set up a 3rd and long for the Saints. Under 9 minutes remaining. 4-yard pickup that time by Ironhead, returning to action after missing a couple of games. Alvin Wright and Pat Terrell that time.
Ironhead looking a little tired. As we mentioned, this is his first game back, and I bet right now he is really needing a blow. In fact, he's heading for the sideline.
39 yards for Hayward on 14 carries this afternoon, and Buford Jordan will replace him. I hope he makes it over to the sideline.
He is not moving very quick. He really got bent back on that last play, and it looked like he may have gotten hurt a little bit, but right now he's just looking very, very tired.
Timeout will be called by the Saints. It'll be their first of the second half.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And by Bud Dry brewed so it drinks light, yet satisfies completely.
It'll be 3rd down and 6 on the 48 for the Saints. It's been a scoreless second half with 8:12 remaining in the 4th quarter. Penalty marker down. Kevin Green had moved across the line. Question is, did somebody draw him there?
I think there was a false start inside, and I believe it will go against the New Orleans Saints. It looked to me like one of the Saints moved inside, but we'll let the officials sort it out. Well, Walsh is saying against the Rams. Walsh is not an official.
Need some more stripes to make that work, huh? See, Mora now gets the word that it may be against the Saints. He can't believe it.
I think what happened is they're seeing the motion on the outside, and they are starting to move inside.
Number 23
That's it,
and
yeah.
the quarterback moving simultaneously. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Both of them. You were right. That's what Green moved on. So it'll be 3rd down and 11. Meanwhile, on the Saints sideline, they're working on Ironhead Haywood's foot.
Here's the shot of him getting bent back just moments ago. Watch him driving into the line. Now watch what happens as he gets hit here. He gets pushed right back over his legs. And boy, I'll tell you, that hurts even from here. Now watch Stan Brock on that last play, the veteran of this offensive line. There he is trying to help the officials. Sick late in the week, and they had to load him up with some fluids and an IV early. He has done yeoman work in there today. Brock working with a young Chris Port, a first-year player over there, and people have really been attacking Port with stunts. And Stan is just constantly on top of that, yelling help, giving the calls out there to the tight end. Has done a fine job on the field today. Yeah, there you see him count. Yeah, he's like, hey, come on, we got this guy. You get him, I got the other one.
3rd down and 11, and Walsh, penalty marker down. The clock went down to 0, and so either the timeout was called or we'll have another delay of game penalty.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they may have misset the clock.
Delay of game. 5-yard penalty.
Well,
repeat 3rd down.
here's Brock. He's talking to the quarterback, trying to get something straightened out, and Walsh taking a little too much time. And Brock trying to get some calls made up there, but they just took too much time off the clock, and they march off another 5. And boy, that's tough. 3rd and about, what, 17, Dick?
Yep. 3rd down and 16. They had a 3rd down and 6 seconds ago. Walsh sprinting out, fires.
No, it's going to be short.
And let's see where the catch is made. Ooh. It is a reception.
I don't think they're going to
Floyd Turner, and it's a 1st down. The forward progress of Floyd Turner before he was hit by Todd Light was enough for the 1st down for the Saints.
I'd like to look at that again. It really looks to me like this is a bad spot. We won't see it from this angle. But watch the time, a little rollout to give Walsh extra time, and fires it outside. Well, you can't tell from there. Maybe we can get it looking across the field. Here's one that gives us a better angle. Well, and he is pushed back from that spot.
They're going to look at this one.
No, but I think what they're saying is that Todd Light pushed him out of position, pushed him forward. They'll give him the position he was in when Todd started to push him. Now, they haven't gone at Light that much today, but that one was in front of him.
Well, if push comes to shove.
Watch the feet here. At the moment that Light hits him, he is right there, and that is possession. So the officials were right on that one. But there's no question when he finally hit the ground, he was about 2 yards back, so Todd Light doing his job as well.
Turner's had another big day, 5 catches after a career-high 9 last week against the Bears. First down. Buford Jordan, the running back. Jordan picks up good yardage, getting inside the Rams' 40-yard line. We get close to 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Chris Pike on the tackle.
That pickup of that first down, a huge play for this New Orleans Saints. A chance now to just control the football and grind the ball down the field and eat up that clock and deny the Rams another chance. They get down, put a field goal up, put a touchdown on the board. They can lock this game up.
Second down and 3. Mixed up in the backfield, and Robert Young enveloped Buford Jordan, and a loss of about 1.5 yards.
The Rams like Robert Young. Very physical young player, young and young, right on top of him on that one.
Less than 6.5 to play. Rams have all 3 of their timeouts, and they've got to get the ball back, but time of possession, which was close a little while ago, now has swayed into the Saints' favor.
With Craig Hayward on the sideline, Ironhead out. These Saints are running out of running backs. Got to wonder, yes, they are. They're going to have to throw the football here with 3rd and 5.
Walsh's pass. Penalty down.
Yep.
Tice was hit by Henley, and they're going to call the penalty against the Saints, or against the Rams. And that is close to being a backbreaker at this stage of the game.
Darrell Henley is 5'9", and all day long they have tried to put big receivers on him. They have done it effectively. They did it right here with Tice. Henley hits him early, no question about it, and they throw the flag.
Pass interference, number 20 on the defense. First down.
John Tice, the second tight end, and the Saints will have a first down on the 32 of the Rams. Lennell Sanders is the 4th linebacker on a 4-4-3 defensive alignment for LA. Drive has used up more than 5 minutes already. Buford Jordan gets by Green, and then Terrell comes into the act, but that'll chew up some more time. Penalty flag is down, and a late flag from the secondary.
Joel Hilgenberg congratulating the officials for seeing that penalty. I don't know what it was, but Hilgenberg applauded them for coming up and throwing the flag. It appeared to happen well after the play was dead.
John Robinson, it's a late hit. Robinson is going crazy on the sideline.
Personal foul, number 93 on the defense. Penalized 15 yards.
Chris Pike.
First down.
And Pike must have lost his cool in a tackle. Let's look for him. Big number 93 after the play. And he was locked up with Hilgenberg and just took a cheap shot at Joel Hilgenberg after the play. And boy, does that cost you. Right down now in easy field goal range for Morton Anderson.
10th play of the drive coming up for the Saints. First and 10 on the 16. Buford Jordan fights his way to the 7-yard line. Chris Pike makes the tackle.
We saw the New Orleans Saints steal the football earlier in the game. I'm sure that right now the Ram defense has got to be saying, let's attack that football. Let's try and strip it away from the New Orleans Saints.
Bobby Hebert could not play today. His shoulder pain was just too much in pregame warm-ups, and Steve Walsh has been in there all the way. Saints, if they get a field goal out of this, would be up by 10 points. They have a 2nd and 5 on the 11. Here's Jordan again. Jordan to the 5, and he'll score. "11 yards, and Buford Jordan gets his first touchdown of the season."
Even though the running game had not been highly productive on the day, the Saints have stayed with it, and it pays a huge dividend here as Jordan spotted a hole and attacked inside for the 11-yard touchdown.
And the Saints brought some fans of their own here to Southern California. Morton Anderson to try the extra point. Barnhart the holder.
Whoa. Jordan went right to the ground. That's the newly sodded area of the field. Watch the block by number 82, John Tice, as he comes in motion right here. And it's on Young as he forces him outside, but that's just good eyes from Buford Jordan, seeing the hole inside.
Well, the NFL on CBS next Sunday begins at 12:30 Eastern. Atlanta plays at Washington, both victorious today. Dallas is at Houston. Detroit at Tampa Bay. Philadelphia plays at Cleveland, and the 49ers face the Saints. The Giants against the Phoenix Cardinals in a 4 o'clock game. And it all begins with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern, the last word before kickoff. Speaking of kickoffs, here is Morton Anderson. And this kick will go out of bounds, and the Rams will begin from the 35. Buford Jordan had only 29 yards rushing all season before today. He has rushed for 37 yards, and it gives you an example with Hayward on the receiving end and the rookie McAfee seeing action. What the Saints have done without Hilliard and their full complement of runners.
Well, they just have run out of backs almost today. Hayward coming back, but he was injured on that last drive. And of course, when you get down and you say, hey, you're it, you got to get it done, and Buford Jordan did exactly that.
6-minute, 19-second time of possession has given the Saints the edge in that area on that last score. 1st and 10 on the 35. Down by 2 touchdowns. Everett needs to go to the air, and his pass is caught into Saints territory by Flipper Anderson. Good for 17 yards, and the Rams are in their hurry-up offense.
A very simple equation for the Rams. They have to score and score quickly.
Easier said than done against the Saints team, but the Bears did it down the stretch last week. Pass caught by Anderson. You heard that hit. Whoa.
Did you ever?
Reginald Jones. And another first down.
Jones happy to do something right. He missed the plane yesterday when the team left for LA. Had to pay for his own ticket and will pay a fine, but that kind of play may get him back into the, or back out of the coach's doghouse. Yeah, at least they'll let him fly home with the team.
Flipper Anderson, 3 catches for 76 yards in his return from the injured reserve. First down on the 30. Everett's pass to Price. Price got by Toy Cook and is close to another first down as Vince Buck makes the tackle.
The Saints staying in those soft zones and giving Everett room underneath, but it takes time to move against the zones.
And the handoff to Del Pino. Not a bad play because the Saints were anticipating another pass, even though it uses up time. Under 3 minutes to go, and a first down for the Rams on the 15. Reginald Jones and Brett Maxey made the stops. Rams have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but they need a score in a hurry, and they got one here to Flipper Anderson.
Welcome back, Flipper. After coming back from a very serious back injury, he has made his presence felt today. Stole the football in what looked like an interception earlier and comes back for the big touchdown here.
His first touchdown catch of the season, and now Tony Zendejas will try to bring the Rams back to within 7. So the big story now would be the clock. 2:39 remaining in the fourth quarter as he makes this grab for a touchdown.
Flipper runs right by the rookie Reggie Jones here and takes it down for 7.
Decision time for John Robinson, and the Saints have to be alert for the onside kick. That may not be the best move for him, though.
Well, they either have to do that or hope that their defense can go out and shut the Saints down instantly. They do have their 3 timeouts for them, so they've got the edge on that side anyway.
They kick it deep. Stanford Jennings at the goal line. So you know the Rams are going to use 2, if not all 3 of their timeouts on defense here to stop the clock and get the ball back. Well, next Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports is the Amoco Center Championship Golf Tournament from the Hilton Head National Golf Club. It features Tom Weiskopf, Fuzzy Zeller, Tom Kite, Johnny Miller, and many more 40-something golfers. That's followed at 4:30 Eastern by Olympic Winterfest Countdown to Albertville, featuring Skate America, American Tanya Harding, Christy Yamaguchi, Todd Edberg perform in an exhibition. That's next Saturday on CBS Sports. First down on the 16.
Saints operating out of a sodded area of the field and footing maybe a little treacherous there.
Buford Jordan on the tackle, and the Rams immediately call a timeout. Alvin Wright was on the stop. So you see the wisdom, as long as the Saints don't get a first down from the Rams standpoint, in kicking it deep.
Well, almost a replay of last week's game against Chicago. Had the Saints been able to convert a 3rd down on a short yardage situation, they could easily have run out the clock on the Bears and won that ball game. But the big Fridge jumped up there and made a tackle, stopped him. Bad punt, and of course the Bears came back to throw 3 completions in a row. Well, there's the brain trust for the New Orleans Saints. Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator, Jim Mora talking it over, deciding exactly what they want to do, and we know what that is. Sustain a drive. 1 first down. 1 first down will do it here. Get me the ball. That's what Jimmy Everett is saying. Get me the ball.
2nd down and 9 on the 17.
An audible by Walsh.
Buford Jordan. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6. The Rams have not called a timeout. Now the clock stops. And the Rams do call their 2nd timeout, so they're left with 1. But this is the big down coming up now. 3rd down for the Saints.
You're going to get the clock stopped at the 2-minute warning automatically.
You heard and saw John Robinson say, do not stop the clock on the next play. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and the CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Los Angeles Rams, the New Orleans Saints, and the National Football League is prohibited.
I think a real question is to whether the Saints are going to throw the football here. It's the logical call, but if you throw it incomplete, you stop the clock, adding another tick for the Rams and giving them a little bit more here. It would not surprise me to see a draw play or some play to keep the clock running in this situation, which would then lead it down to a punt for New Orleans. But the Rams very succinctly are saying in the huddle, we have got to be alert to anything. You don't know what's coming from New Orleans today.
Well, they got 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 6. This is the big play, and it's caught by Eric Martin for the first down. And that should do it for the Rams, as Martin on a crossing pattern beats Pat Terrell. The clock will stop at 2:08, but for all intents and purposes, the Saints have done what they set out to do on this possession.
A real vote of confidence for Steve Walsh, who had thrown some ugly passes earlier. This one is perfectly thrown, and Pat Terrell way behind on the break by Martin, nowhere near. That's just an excellent play offensively and a killer for the Rams.
Big day for Steve Walsh, 269 yards. Buford Jordan out to the 45. And then the clock will stop for our 2-minute warning. Todd Light and Pat Terrell. But the Rams couldn't stop the Saints from getting that first down. And will return to Anaheim Stadium after these messages. Shots courtesy of the MetLife blimp at an altitude of 1,200 feet of Anaheim Stadium. 2 minutes remaining, and the Rams down to their last timeout. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Saints. Leading 24-17 on their 46-yard line. Buford Jordan didn't get anything there, Merlin, but his 4th quarter efforts of 36 yards rushing and a touchdown. Here's a guy who was waived and then re-signed, and when you look at the fact that Gil Fenerty hadn't played today, Dalton Hilliard on injured reserve, Jordan has filled the gap in the running back spot for the Saints.
Hayward had to leave with an injury. On the other side of the field right now, Dick, some real frustration. The Rams will go to 3-6. They've lost 10 of their last 13 regular season games. Now the Rams haven't had back-to-back losing seasons since 64 and 65. John Robinson has got to be shaking his head right now and wondering perhaps about his future.
That's been discussed. 3rd down and 3. That'll bring up 4th down, and the Rams will use up their last timeout. Kevin Green made the tackle and then signaled for the timeout. So LA will get the ball back. They're out of timeouts, and Everett will have to use the sidelines. There's John Robinson.
John said some very uncomplimentary things about these New Orleans Saints after the early loss this year. Said that his feeling was that San Francisco was still the class of the division and that the Saints would come back to the pack. Well, it hasn't been true, and unless there's a miracle here in the final minute and 8 seconds, it's the Rams that will go down for the 2nd time this year to the Saints, and the Saints will be reestablishing their own winning streak, taking them to 8-1.
It'll be 4th down, and for those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the game between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. I'm Dick Stockton along with Merlin Olsen. Our score, Saints 24, Rams 17. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast and the Mountain Time Zone. Vernon Turner goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 55 seconds remaining. And a penalty marker is down as the Rams have no timeouts remaining. And Jim Everett has to go virtually the length of the field to get a touchdown and a conversion to tie the game. A tall order.
Well, if this is against the Saints, it could conceivably help. But if it's against the Rams, it will make Everett's job even more difficult.
It'll go against the Rams, so that'll make his job more difficult.
Personal foul. Number 23 on the Rams.
Michael
Hit
Stewart.
from behind. Unnecessary roughness.
Frustrating day for John Robinson. The Rams were trailing 10-0 in the first quarter. Came back to tie it up. Trailed by a touchdown. Had several opportunities to get the tying score, but couldn't. And then the Saints took a 2-touchdown lead, and now it's 24-17, and the Saints are 55 seconds away from an 8-1 season record. And the Rams need to go 90 yards. Everett going for Ellis, and it's incomplete, out of bounds. Bringing up second down with 49 seconds remaining. Bensy Glenn and Vince Buck defending.
The decision by the New Orleans Saints to rest Bobby Hebert, to rest that sore shoulder, I think a good one. They're able to get out of here with a victory, and I think with a week's rest, that shoulder should really improve for Bobby Hebert. Given Steve Walsh a chance to get some more experience, they've tested themselves pretty well, but their biggest concern right now is getting the injured players back to health. They really have a lot of hurt people on the roster right at this moment.
Out of his end zone, the pass to Del Pino. He gets the first down and stops the clock by going out of bounds with 42 seconds remaining. Gene Atkins supplying the hit. No timeouts remaining for the Rams. The Saints will be playing the 49ers next week. 49ers were shocked by Atlanta on the last play of the game today in Atlanta. So right now the Falcons are in second place behind the Saints in the NFC West. First down on the 21. Everett getting time, and his pass nearly picked off by Brett Maxey, intended for Flipper Anderson.
Very physical football game, as you would expect between these two teams. A game in which it's strange. You see two teams try to run the football, not having great success with it, but both being patient, and it paid dividends for both teams at the end of the game. But the Rams have blown this ball game in the red zone. 2 turnovers, and that really has killed them.
And it really paid dividends for the Saints with a last drive. Everett finds Jim Price. Price is down, no fumble. He did not go out of bounds, decided to cut upfield. So the clock continues to run with 15 seconds to go. A gain of 27 yards. This is Hail Mary time for the Rams after Everett stops the clock.
Well, you saw the Atlanta Falcons throw it deep with 1 tick left on the clock to win that ball game. Are we going to see another one of those?
Well, if the Saints were watching our halftime highlights in their dressing room, you know they're going to prevent that. No.
Well, they've got the 3 wides on one side. It is exactly that. It's the Big Ben or the Hail Mary, whatever you want to call it.
And look at the Saints go back defensively, 52 yards away from the goal line. Everett's pass, someone got a piece of that. And with 4 seconds left, this may be the last shot for the Rams. They'll go 3-6 on the year, and their 3rd straight loss, and I don't think they entertained much hopes for the playoffs before this game. They just wanted to come in with a decent effort, and I think that they came in with a lot better effort than a week ago against the Falcons.
No question about that. That was such a horrible game for them, but I think a real question as to whether this team can even get back to 500. And John Robinson is going to face the fury of the local fans and the local press, who are going to ask some legitimately tough questions about this Ram team.
This could be the final play of the game. Everett fires it up. And it's intercepted by the Saints, and that will do it. No time remaining. Vince Buck with his second interception and fourth in as many games. 5 turnovers today against the Rams. And the final score, the New Orleans Saints 24, the LA Rams 17.